Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to show you how to upload patterns into Cricut Design Space and how to work with them. I realized I have never done a video on patterns and I thought it would be a fun one to do. Just a side note that patterns are only available to work with on your desktop. It's not available on the mobile app, unfortunately. So I just wanted to let you know that in case you only had a mobile app. I also want to mention that patterns are only used for print and cut projects. I have all these images up here so I didn't have to go through Cricut Design Space to find them, but these top four are all Cricut Design Space images. This one is from a website. I'll show you where I got this one. But for these top four, I just went to images, then I just searched for the images that I wanted and inserted them into Cricut Design Space. I have Cricut Access, so all of these images with the green A is included in that, and you can use those with any of your projects. I'll also show you where I downloaded the gnome and what I was going to do with that in just a minute, so I'll just pull that to the side. The first thing that I want to show you is how to upload an image as a pattern into Cricut Design Space. First, you'll need to find your pattern or your background. I'm going to go over to my internet. I'm going to be downloading a buffalo plaid background. This is from the Hungry JPEG website. I really like this website, and this one happens to be free. This website does have a few freebies. It says digital paper backgrounds, so if you're looking for a specific background or pattern, you can Google that and search for it. I'm going to download this now. If you don't have an account with the Hungry JPEG, you would just have to make an account and then you can download it. It'll pull it down to the bottom here. Then I'm going to go over to my folders. I'm on a Mac, so I'll go to my Finder. If you have a Windows computer, you would just go to your downloads folder on that computer. You can see that it comes with a zip file. On my Mac, it automatically unzips it for me and it puts it into this folder. If you're on a Windows, you might have to right click and hit unzip and install. It depends on the computer, but if I double click in here, here's all of the patterns. Now I'm going to go back into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to go to my uploads. So this is where you normally go to upload an image, but when you want to upload a pattern, you can see on the right it says pattern fill. That's where you're going to want to go. I am going to click on upload pattern, then click browse. It pulled up my downloads folder. Now I'm going to double click on this folder. Then I am going to upload this one. I'll hit open. Here you can name and tag your pattern. There's also themes, so I'm going to select Christmas, then I'm going to go down here and select plaids. This just helps you find the pattern a little easier, and I'm even going to do colors. I got that, then I'm going to hit save. Now it'll say pattern upload successful. So as you can see, nothing pulls up down here how it usually does when you go to upload image. So what you'll do is you'll close out of this screen and go back into Cricut Design Space, and it's going to show up in your fill section. But what I'm going to do first is I'm making an ornament sticker, so I'm going to kind of get that ready. I'm going to be using this ornament, and like I said, I just found it in Cricut Design Space. You can see over in the layers panel, there's two layers, and I want it just to be solid. So what I'm going to do is hide the red pattern part, and now I have just this piece. If you look up to line type, it's set as a cut, and we want it to be print and cut since it's going to have a pattern. So to do that is you'll go over to fill, you'll click on this drop down, select print. Then you'll go over to this little box that has a question mark on it. This is where you can change the color, but if you select this box, you can go to pattern. And here is the patterns in Cricut Design Space. They also have patterns in here as well, so you can search through these patterns and see if you like any. And I believe all of these in here are free to use. But at the top, this is the one I had uploaded. This is actually the same one, but I had already uploaded it earlier, and this is another one that I've uploaded. So what you'll do is just select the pattern. it'll change the background to that pattern. There's a couple buttons down here I want to point out too. If you click on filter, you can choose what color you want, which could make it a little bit easier to find what pattern you're looking for also. And you can also edit your pattern, which is kind of cool. So here's our background, but what you can do is you can make it bigger or smaller. So if you look over here, it says scale. You can just use these arrows, or you can drag this, which I find that to be a lot easier. So you can drag this to be a lot bigger, just like that, or bring it down. So that's kind of nice to be able to move that around. You can also click this and move the pattern. So this will go horizontal. It's kind of hard to see, but it's moving over, and vertical will move it up and down, I believe. It's kind of hard to see what it's doing. And then rotate, you can also rotate this too, so you can see how it's rotating on here. And you can flip it different ways. So I'm actually going to go try to move that back to how I had it. I just hit undo because I felt like that was easier than trying to switch it back. So I'm going to go back to my pattern, then select this one. I have it back to how it was. And actually looking at this, it's kind of weird how it has a longer rectangle here. So I actually do want to go back up and edit the pattern. I don't like how it's longer here compared to these squares. So I'm actually going to use the edit pattern, and I am going to bring this down. I'm actually going to double click on it. I'm going to try 100 and see how that looks. You can see it's bringing it further down. I ended up going with 177. I like that better because it has the even squares on it. This screen is super nice if you want to change the look of your pattern or make it bigger or smaller. It'll automatically save this. You'll just want to click the X up here. I'm going to be making stickers with this ornament with these images over here, but I brought this gnome in here because I wanted to show you something kind of cool with this, and I wanted to show you how I found this gnome. It was on Creative Fabrica, and these are actually free SVG files, which is kind of nice. I found this gnome. If you click on it, you can hit download, and it'll be the same exact process. I already have it downloaded in here. If you double click, here is your different options, and then I'll go to Cricut. I just want to show you something with uploading it. I'll double click in this. This one's a PNG and this one says SVG. You'll want to download the SVG for this because it separates each piece in different layers, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You would just click on that and hit open, but I already have this in Cricut Design Space. Because this is an SVG, you can look over here and it has all the different layers with it. If I were to upload the PNG image, it would just be one layer. You wouldn't get all these pieces. So what I want to show you with the gnome is how to change one piece of an SVG to a pattern. What you do is you can hit ungroup, or you can select just the layer that you want to change. And I want to change his hat to a buffalo plaid pattern. So I'm going to come up here, I'll select just the hat cut file. I'll come up to the top and I want to change it to print. Then I am going to go over to this little box here and I will go back to my pattern. Then I'll just select the buffalo check pattern. And look how cool that is. You can really change up an image with just a pattern, so that makes it look really cool. I'm not going to do anything with this gnome, but I wanted to show you how you can add a pattern to just one piece of an image. Let's say you do have one layer of this image and you want to change just the hat to a buffalo check pattern. You can do that by using the contour button. I'm not going to go into detail on how to do that in this video, but I have a full video showing how you can make one layer into multiple layers in Cricut Design Space. So I'll leave that video down below if you are interested. I'm going to delete that. Then I am going to make my stickers. I'm just going to duplicate these to have 3 ornaments. Then I am just going to add these for designs on my stickers. I have this one set to print already. I'm just going to make it white. Then I'm going to bring it over here. I need to right click and send it to the front. Then I'll just center this inside my ornament. I'll do the same thing for these images. I'm going to change it to white. then change it to print. I like how those are centered. Now, the next thing that you'll want to do is flatten these. If you don't flatten these layers together, then the Cricut will cut out the stocking and it'll cut out the ornament. And we just want it to cut out the outside of the ornament. So what I'm going to do is highlight over both of these. And you can see over in the layers panel, we have the ornament and the stocking highlighted. Then I'm going to come down here and click flatten. And then I'll just do the same thing for these. I like to drag over the images. It makes it easier to select them, but you can hit shift on your keyboard also. So I'll hit flatten, and then I'll hit flatten. I'm gonna make my stickers 2 inches. I'm going to be using my maker, so I have that selected. For print and cut, you can only use the maker or Explore machine. Print and cut is not compatible with the Cricut Joy. I'm going to click on Make It. I'm going to click Continue. First, it's going to ask you to print this, so I'll select Send to Printer. It'll automatically have the bleed on, and I always keep that on because it helps with more crisp lines. And even if you click on this little eye, I think it says that it brings the ink slightly beyond the border of the image to eliminate a white margin once it's cut out. So it actually makes it a little bit more accurate with printing. So you'll want to keep that on. Then I always select Use System Dialog because you can edit your printer settings. Then I'll select Print. It will come up with this screen. If this screen doesn't pop up, it might be underneath Cricut Design Space, so you'll want to minimize Cricut Design Space to find this. What you'll want to change here is change it to best. Your printer will most likely automatically do normal, but you want the best quality of your image. Then I'm going to hit print. It'll automatically start printing. You'll want to make sure you have your sticker paper loaded the correct way in your printer. Mine needs to be face down. I also get a lot of questions about what printer I have. I have an Epson printer that is discontinued, but I will try to find a couple good ones to link, but you'll want an inkjet printer. For my stickers, I like to use the vinyl setting. It gives it a kiss cut where you can just peel the sticker off of the backing. So I'm going to select vinyl, and it depends on your Cricut machine and what works for you. I've used washi tape setting before to give it that kiss cut as well. And if you want it to cut all the way through, I would try sticker paper or cardstock, but I'll select this and I'll show you on my machine how it cuts this out. I'm using the Cricut printable vinyl, which I am super impressed with. I like it a lot. You can actually find this on Amazon, so I will link that down below if you are looking for sticker paper. Here's what it looks like after it's printed. My camera didn't want to focus this close, but you might be able to see how blurry and smudged the ink looks around the edges of the stickers. If you see that, don't panic. This is from the bleed being turned on. The Cricut will cut off that part when it cuts out the design. I like to use my blue mat for my sticker paper, and I wait a little bit to place it on the mat to let the ink dry. I also like to use my brayer tool over the paper to place it onto the mat and prevent smudging it with my fingers. I load the mat into the machine and press the blinking C. It will read the black sensor marks first, then it'll cut out the ornaments. To remove the sticker sheet, I turn my mat around. I always recommend bending the mat back so you don't have to bend your material. I like to use my weeder tool to remove my sticker from the backing, and the vinyl setting worked perfectly for this. Here's how the sticker turned out. Super cute. These will be fun to put in planners, put on Christmas card envelopes, or stick onto gift wrapping paper for presents. Let me know if you have any questions about patterns or print and cut in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I would love it if you subscribed if you're new. I have tons of fun Christmas videos coming up, and I hope you have a great day.